Hi everyone, this is Evan here with Camellia Rose. Today I'm going to show you how to put in the Robyn Luxe wig that has 15% more hair. So what I'm going to first do with my model here, she has a lot of natural texture in her hair, so I'm not really going to do a lot of back combing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to section the hair from my thumb. My whole length of my thumb is going to be how far I do back for the quiff. So if I section that out, and I'm going to do it in like a headband shape, so basically everywhere from right in front of the ear. And I am just going to pull this, because what I'm going to do with the sides here is I'm going to pull them back so you get that really, really, really elegant movement, but at the same time I'm going to put a really nice tiara in there that's a little bit bigger, has a little more weight to it, so I just want to be sure that I have enough hair to work with. So I'm going to take all this and I'm going to deal with this just a little bit later. Section that off. Again, even sections are just going to make your life easier. If they're not super even, it's just really hard to get that shape in there, and you're going to have to work way harder than you want to. So this whole front section I'm just going to twist off. And now you can use anything. I'm just going to use a bobby pin because I think that's the easiest. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do here is with her hair, just because she has a lot of texture, I'm not really worried about having to secure it all, but I'm going to divide it into two sections. So I'm going to do from right behind the tip of her ear, I'm going to pull that all back. And then what I'm going to do at the top here, I'm going to pull it all the way up. But I am going to do it just a little bit further back than I usually would. So usually I'd go right up from the tip of the ear here. This I'm going to go just a little more diagonal. And you'll see why in a moment. Now I'm going to take a ponytail, an elastic, and I'm just going to be sure that it is centered. Turn toward me. And then what I'm gonna do with the back, I'm gonna gather this and I'm gonna pull it straight out from her head. Not up, not down, but wherever I can grab it. And then I'm gonna take another ponytail and secure it. Now, instead of using regular donuts, what I've done is I've taken our big donuts and I've cut them in half. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place it where I want it. And you can see this is why I did the ponytail just a little bit further back. I'm going to place one, and then I am going to pin it on the sides first, because then I can get it even and it's going to be symmetrical. So if I pin this side, then I'm going to take more. And I always tackle the sides first. Now with this one, you just want to be sure that you get it even on both sides, because if you don't, the whole wig is going to be lopsided. So now that I have those pins in, I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to go from the front, and you're just going to shove them through there. And I personally like to use big clips all the time. Some people like to use small ones, and some people like to use the ones that are like squiggly, that give you more grip. I think just these ones where they're just regular and you get the wax on the ends is the best. So once I get that secured, then I'm going to take another one, half donut, and I'm going to set that one on top. So same idea. I'm going to take it and I'm going to pin the sides first. And I'm going to pin them together. And you can see, as I am securing them, they have a lot more to work with, because I can move this whole thing, and you can see it's really secure to her head. And then I'm just kind of playing around, seeing where I need pins. So you can see now we have this big shape right here. Now in the back here, all I'm going to do with this hair is I'm going to twist them together and I'm going to pin them flat to her head. Because due to the wig's natural shape, they are going to, the wig itself is going to have a lot of volume throughout the back. Now I'm going to take my wig and I'm going to clip in the front first. And then what I'm going to have her do, I'm going to have her put her two hands right here and hold just in the front right here. There you go, right there, right there, as I pull the back down. And then while I'm holding the back, I take my pins right away, and I just like to secure it back here first. Perfect, and you can let go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two side bits and just be sure that those donuts are under there. And I'm going to pull them forward. Now what I'm going to have her do, I'm going to have her hold her hands where I'm pulling and pull both those sides forward until I can pin them. So you can let go of this side. Let go of this side. And then I'm going to have her turn her head. So I'm just pinning the side here, just be sure it's secure. You can see if I move the wig front to back, we have really, really good security. That feels secure, right?
Yeah.
Good. So now what I'm going to do is, because she has a lot of texture in the front, I'm going to comb it all out. Now some of you that may have finer hair, what you can do is you can put perm rods and make them go back, or curlers or anything just to give texture like hers. This is going to make it stay. I always find I always catch myself back combing wigs, moving wigs, especially here, just because you want to get that softness, you want to look like natural hair, and it's just in trend. So with her hair, it's actually just happens to be perfect because I don't have to use a texture spray really. I don't really have to back comb that much to get it to the shape that I want. So you just want to be sure that it's super combed out. Now I'm going to section it into 3 different pieces. I'm going to basically do 3 different quiffs. So with her hair, just because it has so much texture in it, I'm not going to back comb it, I'm just going to roll it, like you've seen in the previous videos. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spray this smooth. So I'm going to get it kind of wet. And I'm going to comb it. And I'm going to keep combing it until it gets more dry. And then when I roll it, what I'm going to do, pull the hair forward, getting it into the shape that I want it to be. So I pin the sides first. And then I'm just shaping now more than anything, because I don't want it to look like she just has a big rectangle on the front of her head, a big brick. So I'm just trying to round out those corners by pulling them down, pushing them where I want to. And this is the part I feel like in full wigs that always gets missed. People, oh, it's just a full wig, I'll just slap a wig on. Oh, it's not that. You want it to look as flawless as possible. So now with these pieces, I'm going to take my hairspray again. And these are more than anything, like I could leave them, like if I sprayed them, and she could actually at nighttime put them in a perm rod herself or a curler, and she could wear it like this for competition. Me being particular, this wave pattern is different than her natural one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that makes it all blend together. So if I comb it all smooth, and then I take my pins, what this is going to do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it once, wrap it twice, and then I'm just going to let the end do whatever. But where I have this space up here, because her wig, remember where we sectioned off, we have where her wig is to where her hairline is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it, and I'm actually going to pull some of the curl forward, and I'm going to pin it into the side. And then I let the top layer of the wig just fall over it. Turn. Same thing, I take my spray, get it more wet, comb it out, wrap it twice, and let those ends be free. And then pull a little bit of those curls forward. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have her, I'm going to section right at the corner of the quiff where your quiff would be separated on the wig. And I'm going to have her hold these 2 pieces here with her hands. Perfect. And then I'm going to take my crown. Now with the crowns nowadays and what's in trend right now is that they tilt just a little bit back. They're not super straight up, so I'm going to have you hold your arms up a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it right behind the quiff, but in front of the wig. And then I kind of tilt it down, so I feel actually like where behind her ears are, and that's where I put the points of the tiara. What's great about Camilla Rose wigs is I've been working for them for about 8 years, and the wigs, I've brushed them out, I've turned Robyn wigs into wigs that look more like blowouts. They're really, really good. You can always condition the curls back, and you never, ever, ever have to worry about them looking frayed, unless you do fray them, and you want that on purpose, which is a look as well. You can let those go. Now, being nitpicky, I'm going to take some of these curls, and I always push the curls forward from behind in this part. So like this, I know when she jumps, I'm going to see this, and I don't necessarily love that. So I'm going to grab some hair. I put it in the pin first, like I have a loose piece and I'm holding the pin, and I shove it upward. And then that one is not going to stay on its own. So then I take another pin and I do it perpendicular. So same, I go from under. And I know it's not going to stay, so I take another one, go perpendicular. When you do the perpendicular one, it doesn't necessarily matter which way you go with it. Now from here, I decided I want a little more height, so you can go ahead, but you just want to be sure when you back comb the wig, you're really only doing it through this front section here, and I'm pulling forward, and then I let it lay back. And then the easiest way to back comb, if you're trying to smooth out back combing, tilt your comb 45. If you keep it 40, you're just going to take out all that back combing you did, and you're just going to end up with a lot of frizz. And this, I just feel, makes it softer. If I left it the way it was, it's great the way it was. It was beautiful, but I just like it a bit softer. And then you can, as I'm finishing, what I'm going to do is on the wig itself, on her front here, I could use a lacquer hairspray to give a lot of hold, something anti-humidity, just because of how her hair naturally is. But through the top of the wig, and then through here, I just want the front of it. Like, I don't love that it's going right here. I still want some width and as if it's flying away. So what I'll do is I'll lift it, and I'll spray it just a little bit, not a lot. And then I'll mold it with my hand. So this is where having a good wig, if you look on Instagram, like, oh, I love her hair, oh, I love how that style just flows. This is it. This is how you shape it. And this is what makes the point of difference. But other than that, this is how you style the Robyn Luxe. I hope you enjoyed.